Can you see my screen? Thank you, Vishnu. So, today we'll be discussing the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Let's do a quick recap about what did we understood in chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 was titled as Karma Yoga, wherein Krishna suggested Arjun that you should not leave your house, you should not leave your duty to do the Karma Yoga. So, Karma Yoga is against Karma Sannyas. In the Karma Yoga, you do the karma, we do our respective activities. As a woman, you all have respective activities, duties to your house, to your children, to your husband. As a household male, I have some duties, right? So we all have our duties. So we should not be giving up our duty. Rather, we should be giving up our results to Krishna. That is called karma yoga. Without expecting the results, just do your duty. Whereas the karma sannyas is a state where you give up your own karma because you don't want any reactions. You leave your house, you go to Himalaya, you do tapasya. Why? Because you understood that if you do the karma will have some resultant actions, resulting fruits that will again entangle you to another karma, another action, another karma, another action. It's a never ending cycle. So Agyani realized that I should leave the house and give up the duties so that I'll not get the result. But they don't understand that even giving up a duty itself is a karma, right? If I'll decide I will not do anything, that itself decision become one more karma. So, in this way, a Jivatma in this world can never, can never be abstain himself from doing any karma. If you have born in this material world, you have to have a karma. Doesn't matter if you stay silent, doesn't matter if you stop breathing for a time being. There is a karma. That is what Arjun's question was to Krishna. When Krishna was explaining karma yoga to Arjun, and before that, in chapter 2, when Krishna explained the prescribed duties for him as a Kshatriya and the duty and intelligence which says you become a Jnani and leave everything. So Arjun thought that it's a good excuse for him to leave this battlefield and go to Himalaya. So he thought that this excuse should be better and I will not be in this bloodshed. I will not have all those sins of killing people. But then Krishna made him understand that Karma Yoga is better than Karma Sannyas. Because if all of us leave our duty in this world, go to Himalaya, then what will happen to this world? The demonic people in this world will run it. The same thing Krishna explained in Mahabharata. If Arjun, Yudhishthir, all of them will decide that we'll all leave and take sannyas, then who will rule the kingdom? It would be Dhritarashtra and his demonic son, Duryodhan. And what will Duryodhan do? That Duryodhan, if in the Kuru Sabha, in the royal palace, if he can try to disrobe the royal princes of Hastinapur, can we think what he could have done to the ordinary lady in the kingdom? Right? So Krishna never suggested that we should give up our duties. Rather, give up the attachment to the duties, and the duties should be pointed toward Krishna. That was in chapter 3, we explained. And then he also called upon the leaders, that the leaders in the society, whatever position you are in, you have great responsibility because people are looking up to you, right? So the great people are always looked up to for direction. So it becomes their duty to do that. The children in your house are looking the mother and father as their role model. So what are they doing? If a mother and father is not religious, how can the children be religious? No, it is not possible. They are not. They are looking up to you. So that is the role of every leader in house, in society, in the nation, in institution, to behave in certain way and follow the duty. Now, we'll start with chapter 4. So, in this chapter, Krishna started with 4 topics. One is talks about eternal education, consequences of action, qualifications to receive wisdom, and transcendental wisdom. So, the first part is eternal education. So, the very logical and first question that people often ask, when was the Bhagavad Gita spoken? So, the logical answer says approximately 4,300 years ago, and Krishna has spoken Bhagavad Gita. But there is a catch. Krishna revealed something very unique in this shloka. The shloka number 1 for the first fourth chapter states, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vishvashate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manor Ishkwate Bravita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Lord Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivashwan, and Vivashwan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ishwaku. So what did just Krishna said? Krishna said, this imperishable science of Bhagavad Gita was given to me to the sun god Vivashwan, Suryadev. Right. Now we'll be thinking, how come it was given to Suryadev? Because we know Krishna appeared close to 4,500 years ago. And Krishna spoke to Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield. And then Krishna was saying over here, I have given it to sun god Vivashwan and in the beginning of the creation. And Vivashwan then further passed down this knowledge to Manu, the father of mankind. Manu given it to Ishwaku further. And Ishwaku was the ancestor of who? Any idea? Who was the Ishwaku? Any guesses? Ishwaku was the ancestor of Lord Ram, where Lord Ram appeared in the in Ayodhya. So now the logical question will be, how come I believe that you have given this knowledge to sun god Vivashwan? Arjuna had the same doubt. Arjuna said, people have seen your born Krishna. You have taken a birth in the womb of Mata Devaki in Mathura, right? People have seen you growing in Gokul. Then how can I believe that you have given this to Vivashwan? And then Krishna replied in the second shloka, Krishna said, Evam parampara praptam Imam rajarshayo vidaha sakalena mahata yogo nashtaf parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciple succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in due course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Krishna is saying further that this knowledge which was given by me to Ishwaku, it was supposed to be further come down through a disciple succession. Disciple succession means I got this knowledge, Krishna given this knowledge to someone, and then that someone given it to us in many people chain. So, for example, Krishna given the knowledge to Brahmadev, Brahmadev given it to Narad Muni, Narad Muni given it to Shri Vedvyas, Vedvyas given it to Madhvacharya, and then from the Madhvacharya it came down to Mahaprabhu, from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu it came down to Srila Prabhupada, and from Srila Prabhupada it is coming to you and me. This is called disciple succession. It is very important to have this received from disciple succession. Why? Why it is important will come later. But then Krishna is saying, in this due course of time, succession was broken, and therefore the science appears to be lost. Krishna is saying, but I have given it, but then in some period of time it was lost. So I am Arjun giving this knowledge again to you to start that disciple succession again. That is what Krishna has told us. So in the left side, you can see that primarily we have four lines or four disciple succession, which is authorized, credible, accredited to receive the disciple succession. So Lord Krishna given the knowledge to Lord Brahma, and then with few people on the way, it came down to Madhvacharya. Similarly, and this sampradaya was called Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Then Lord Krishna given this knowledge to Sri Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi in return chooses Ramanujacharya in South India to give the same knowledge. Then Krishna given this to Lord Shiva, and he chooses Vishnu Swami as an Acharya, predominant Acharya for this Guru Parampara. Krishna given it to the four Kumaras, Chatur Kumaras, and again he chooses Nimbarkacharya to give the knowledge. So this is how this information was, this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, was passed down through disciple succession. Now, you may ask me why I need to be the part of this disciple succession. I can read many books for many years and I will be qualified. That is the difference between a material knowledge and a spiritual knowledge. Material knowledge is received by our own will, by our own effort. But spiritual knowledge is only received through disciple succession. But you may say, I will read it. Who will stop me to getting the knowledge? Right? But here, we are not talking about reading and understanding. We are talking about application of the knowledge, the realization of the knowledge. That is most important. So, do you remember 1 year before, if you have read a newspaper, do you know what was written there? No, we don't remember. Why we don't remember? Because that knowledge is not realized. I'll give an example. I was riding a two-wheeler, and I was never wearing a helmet. People around me told me that I should wear a helmet because it's very dangerous to drive. And I was very casual about it. I was not listening anything else. We'll see what will happen. Nothing will happen to me. And in one strange day, I saw an accident which was very close to me. It's like if 2 seconds of lag and I would be dead, but I was alive. That day, I realized what is the necessity of wearing helmet. Earlier, when people were telling me wear helmet, the knowledge was the same, helmet was the same, my activities of riding the two wheelers were the same. Now it's all the same. But why did I started wearing helmet? Because that knowledge got realized in me. So when the knowledge is not realized, it doesn't bring a change in you. So for any knowledge that we perceive, we take, it should bring some amount of change. That will happen only in case of spiritual knowledge if it will come directly from disciple succession. Otherwise, it is just like a newspaper or magazine which does not change our life. It is like the series of lights, right? You have many, many bulbs that we put it on Diwali or some other occasions. And then when we place it in our houses, in our roof, right, it doesn't light up. Why it doesn't light up? No matter how many miles, kilometers you put the lights will not be on unless it is plugged into the socket and switched on. That connection is called Guru Parampara, disciple succession. It has to connect it to an electric source. Similarly, this knowledge should be connected to the people who are connected to Lord Krishna in a formal engagement of disciple succession. Otherwise, we can read it, but it will not do any change to us. It will just be a passing news. That is the importance of disciple succession. Right? And this is the slide where we talked about in Padma Puran. It talks about four sampradaya. Lakshmi Devi chose Ramanujacharya and disciple succession, and similarly four other acharyas that we discussed. And this is the Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya that I represent. Brahma, Brahmadev, Madhavacharya, and Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And here is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Now, the second portion was Krishna said, why did Krishna appear? Remember when Arjun asked to Krishna, hey Krishna, how can I know that you have given this knowledge to the sun god Vivashwan? Because people have seen your birth. To that, Krishna replies, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatpataha. Krishna says, my birth and appearance is mysterious and transcendental. People cannot understand me. Krishna said, every millennium I appear. So this shloka is very, very common. 4.8 Krishna said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna says, I appear millennium after millennium to do what? Three purposes: to deliver the pious, to annihilate the miscreants, and to re-establish the principles of religion. Krishna said, I appear. Now, out of these three reasons, which is the most important reason for Krishna to appear? Anybody? Please, Jyoti Mataji. what is the primary reason for Krishna to appear? Out of these three reasons, Vindhya Mataji, Satish Prabhu, anybody?
Question, sir. बोल, फिर से बोल.
So
Sir,
when
repeat the question, sir.
so when
Actually,
Krishna
question क्या था? हाँ, yes.
when Krishna said that I appear for three reasons: to
Okay,
deliver the pious, to annihilate the
yes.
Christians, and to reestablish principles of religions. Which is the most
Okay.
important in these three?
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants as well as to establish the principles of religion.
Yes, these three reasons. But Krishna's primary duty is to deliver the pious. To annihilate the miscreants, he can have thousand numbers of ways.
Okay.
For example, if I am a bad person, Krishna want to make me die. There is a fan which is above my head. If Krishna wants, then this fan will be over my head and I will be dying. This roof can fall off. Krishna is there as a Paramatma in our heart. Krishna wants, he can choke the blood supply within 2 minutes and I'll be dead. I can get an electric shock just touching this laptop. So there are thousand numbers of ways in which Krishna can annihilate the miscreants. But that is not his primary duty. His primary duty is to deliver the pious. Somebody who is waiting to take the darshan of the Lord for many, 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 many years, his thirst will not be fulfilled when he will not see Krishna or Lord Ram or any other avatars, because that is the only solution. They will not compromise on that. No other reason can satisfy them apart from have personal association with the God. So Krishna's primary duty is to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants. And then the same shloka I was referencing, Krishna said, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving this world, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. Krishna is saying, once this knowledge will get realized to you, then when you leave this body, you will be going to the spiritual world. Will not have to come to this birth again and to suffer. We don't have to face corona, we don't have to face these wars, we don't have to face the our neighbors who are torturing us. We don't have to work throughout the day to earn money, to satisfy people. We will be happy eternally. That is what Krishna is declaring in this chapter, in this shloka. Then next, Krishna talks about Varnashram Dharma. Krishna said, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. According to three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. Although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non doer, being unchangeable. Krishna said that I have created this world and I have given four divisions in the human society. Any guesses which four divisions Krishna is talking about? Any guesses?
No, Prabhuji.
Anybody else? Jyoti Mataji? Which which four divisions is talking about? And the answer is on your screen. Look at the left side. What do you see? Who is this person?
Brahmana,
Brahmana.
Brahmana, and
Who is
you
this
know this
person? Yeah.
Kshatriyas,
Yes.
Kshatriyas,
Yes.
and
This is
uh, this is
Vaishya.
Vaishya, yeah, Vaishya,
तो
Shudra.
जो बुलक काट को एक कर रहा है वो कौन है सर?
Shudras, Shudras, yeah,
And this is Shudra.
Shudras, yeah.
Now, Krishna says, I have created these four divisions. And this is a shloka which people doesn't understand in this world, mostly the communists, and they criticize because they don't have understanding of this. So we need Brahmana. Why? To give us knowledge.
हाँ yes.
Similarly, in this age, in this yuga, we have teachers, we have intellectuals, we
Yeah.
have people who read, understand, explain. So these are, in a way, quote unquote, Brahmana. They have called the qualities of a Brahman. Just like in earlier days, we had Kshatriyas, today we have the politicians, the bureaucrats, the ministers, the MLAs, the corporators. Their duty is to serve us. In Vaishya are the one whose duties is to generate revenue or to grow the food or to do business. So all those big businessmen today in this world are of Vaishya mentality or Vaishya guna. And somebody who is doing service, who is doing job, either as a Brahmana, either in the with a Kshatriya or with the Vaishyas, they are just serving, they are called Shudras. So all of you these days, all of us who are service class, I work for a company, right? So I am a Shudra in a way. I have a Shudra mentality. But my owner of the company, he has got the Vaishya mentality. So how do these serve to be perfect? Krishna says that I have created this. If Krishna is perfect, so the design created by him is also perfect. How is it perfect? In earlier days, when a Brahmana used to give lecture, used to enlighten people's mind, he used to give knowledge to all others, all three. He was not saying, I will not give it to Shudra, I will only give to Kshatriya. He was not supposed to say like this. A Kshatriya, when he was protecting, he was fighting religious war, he was saving each one's life for other three divisions. He didn't say, no, I'll not save the Shudras, I will not save the Kshatriya. He will not say that. Similarly, when a farmer used to grow food, he used to feed all three. And the Shudra, if he used to serve in all three places. So earlier this was very complete, very cooperative in nature design. Everybody was designing for for the center, which is the satisfaction of Krishna in the center. Just like I have a hand, we have a finger, and you have a leg. If hand and leg thinks that I would take the food here and I will crush it and the hand will be nourished, will it happen? No. For a hand to get nourishment, it has to take the food and feed it via mouth to the stomach. And when the stomach is nourished, every part of the body is nourished. If, if a mouth will think, I will only keep the food, if he keeps the food within his mouth and doesn't pass on, the nourishment will not happen. Similarly, all other these four varnas, they were serving in the society for the benefit of Krishna. And Krishna said, although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non doer, being unchangeable. Krishna said, though I have created this, but I am not responsible for what you do with this. That means Krishna created the energy of atom, but he is not responsible if the same atom is atomic energy is used in creating atomic bomb and exploding it and millions of people die. Krishna is not responsible. Krishna gave us the knife, but it is our will, our karma, or our consciousness who will decide, will I use this knife to cut the vegetable or will I use this knife to kill people? That's how Krishna is not responsible, even though the design is there. But you will hurt people who are in Tamagun, who have no knowledge, they will criticize the design and hold Krishna accountable for this design. It is not his fault. Moving on, Krishna talks about consequence of action. The shloka here says, Karmanyo hapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, akarmanascha bodhavyam, gahana karmano gati. Now, in the last slide, as we discussed, we all have prescribed duties according to our varnas, but we are not sure how I am getting the results and how this law of karma works for us. To that, Krishna answers, the intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. In this image on the left side, you can see that there is a laptop. Now, a laptop or a computer has so many things in background. You have a CPU, you have UPS, you have transistor, you have motherboard, you have chip, and so on. The list goes on. How many of us can understand the computer or laptop end to end, everything? No, it's not very easy for us. But then, what is most important? The most important is, do we know how to use it? That is more important than knowing about the engineering part of the system. That is what Krishna is saying. But this karma is very hard for people like me and you to understand. Our mind is not qualified, it is not equipped to understand whole lot of science behind this. But then Krishna knows us, Krishna is warning us and insisting us to understand only three things, which is what is action, what is forbidden action, and what inaction is. So, Krishna talks about karma, vikarma, and akarma. Now, understand these three. So far, we would have only known two types of karma, good karma and bad karma. Now, here Krishna is giving you the higher science and talking about three karma. Now, the first karma is doing your following duty, which is nothing but the good karma. If you are feeding people, giving blanket to the needy people, and do a good welfare for the society, and doing your prescribed duties, following the scriptures, it is called good karma. On the other hand, we have vikarma. Vikarma are the prohibited actions, which is not to be done. Like, do not kill a jivatma or an animal. Do not do not lie. Do not do a robbery in others' house. And that is prohibited actions called vikarma. So there is a result. If you do a karma, you will get birth in the higher planets. And there you will have some joy moment. If you do vikarma, you will have a birth in the lower planets, or also you may be suffered by getting a other kinds of body of an animal, and then you will eat each other and you will suffer. That is called vikarma. The third karma is called akarma. Akarma is an act which does not give you pap or punya, because pap and punya are temporary in nature. If you have some punya, you will use it and then it will be over. Just like if I'll give you a visa for some days to go to US, you go to US, you enjoy there with that number of days of visa. When the visa gets over, you have to come back to this India. That is what the temporary nature of the punya. So as the pap, you are not imprisoned throughout. You are imprisoned for doing bad activities, say for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, depends on the kind of work that you have done. That is again temporary in nature. You will be released outside of the jail. So both karma and vikarma is temporary in nature. But Krishna says, if you do akarma, which gives you spiritual credits, these are the permanent ones. This doesn't get exhausted. And for that, you will be transferred to spiritual planet and have a transcendental blissful life. Just like you get a green card in US. Now you are staying there permanently. Nobody is throwing you out from there. Similarly, this akarma gets you that. Now the life lesson is build your life in a way so as to perform action in Krishna consciousness, akarma. So if I'll ask you, out of these three, which is the most important and we should be doing it logically, what do we say? Out of these three, which is most important? Anybody?
Karma and akarma, both.
Karma and akarma, both. Right. But in between karma and akarma, if you have to choose between one,
Good karma.
Karma.
Good karma.
karma.
Helping poor, welfare of the society, feeding.
Correct. Right. Exactly.
Yes,
But
akarma.
there is a problem with the karma.
Karma.
There's a problem with the karma. The problem with the karma is to do that karma, you need to have a body. And to have a body, you need to have 9 months of torture in the womb of a mother. You need to have a body in which you will get diseases. You need to have a body which is subject to this material nature, old age, which can have so many diseases. The war, the COVID, all can give a torture to us with the karma because you are getting this body. So, Janm Karm, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, the Shastra says, these four are there with the karma, but these four are not there in the akarma. You can do akarma and get rid of these four body problems and also do a blissful work in the spiritual planet. So that's why akarma is great. For example, if you want to do a welfare in the society, if you want to give them good food to eat to the needy people, it's a good work. You'll get some punya. But then, if you do akarma, that way you will elevate their consciousness as well. So, my question is, if somebody is a poor, born in a poor family, it is a karma or it is a reaction? If somebody has taken a birth in a family where he is not having a food for a day or so, is it a karma or it's an action? Fruits, action or it's a fruits?
Mhm.
It is an action or it is a fruit? वो कर्म है कि वो फल है का वहां पे पैदा होना?
It's
I
karma,
think it is
Prabhuji. Karma.
पहले तो
Yeah.
बोलते मुझे नहीं चाहिए
No, that is karm phal.
Karma.
Because what did he do?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What did he do to get born in that family? The son of Ambani, what mehnat, what action they have taken that from the very first day they are millionaires. By what virtue they are there in the family of Ambanis and Adanis? They have not done any homework or hard work to get that. That means that itself is a reaction or the fruits. That is not the karma. The karma they would have done in some other birth. As a resultant, they are born into respective families. Now, if somebody is born in the poor family, that means if the fruits are wrong, that means the action should have been wrong. If I am getting the in my farm, I'm getting this the fruits which is very bad, the tree of fruit which is very bad. That means I have plowed the wrong seed. I cannot get a mango throwing another seeds. Similarly, if the karampal is bad, that means in some birth I would have done the bad karma. So that bad karma I am doing. So if you want to change your fruits, then you should change your action. So if you want to change that coming birth in next birth, you don't get a birth in a poor family. That means you need to start doing the changes in your action, karma. You should do different karma so that as a resultant you don't get birth there. But then, what motivates us to do good or bad karma? Our consciousness. Our consciousness motivates us to do this or do that. Our consciousness motivates us either to do a robbery at somebody's house, to kill somebody, or to do the good for the society. It is our consciousness who will decide either I will do karma or vikarma or a karma. So it's good to feed people in the society the food in their stomach. It is good, but then it is a temporary solution. Better from that is raise their consciousness in the society as a whole. If their consciousness will raise, then that is a better welfare for them. Otherwise, we'll keep on feeding them food, their consciousness will not change, and they will again getting birth in the wrong places with the wrong kind of body, with the wrong parents, with the wrong people around, with the wrong country, and then they will suffer. If you really want to do some welfare for the society, the best thing is to raise their consciousness. Now, how to raise their consciousness? One way is to connect them to God. Because if our focus is not on God, that means our focus is on ourselves. I will do anything and everything to satisfy my desire. I will be very selfish. And this will lead to further greed and greed and greed, and that's a never ending cycle. But my focus is to satisfy Krishna, our creator. In that way, will not be greedy for our own satisfaction. And then we can do the good karma, which is called akarma in the better way. Now, the third part, Krishna said, what is the qualification to receive this wisdom? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Krishna is saying, to get this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge, we need to approach a spiritual master. Which is spiritual master? For example, if you want to do engineering, right? We cannot do engineering just like that. We need to see first which are the approved engineering college in this country. Then we need to approach them, the principal or the institution. Then we need to take admission there. Then we need to give them some time. Then we need to open our mind to learn. If we'll go there and we'll say, I'll pay the money, but I will not listen to you. I will do whatever I want. Right? Will not get the knowledge. And then if you give 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, after that you will get a degree and you will learn something. So getting the knowledge, material or spiritual, doesn't matter. The process remains the same. You need to identify a institution which is approved. We have so many spiritual institutions in this world. ISKCON is one of them. You have Art of Living, you have Isha Foundation. There are many, right? So we need to see which are the approved. But also there are many other institutions which are not approved. They just do whatever they want. They just market, and you will feel that, oh, I am getting knowledge. No, you'll not get a degree there. So we should look out for the first spiritual institution. Within that, we should take admission. We should give some time. So in this case, we encourage you and we appreciate you. You are giving your time on the Zoom to connect with us. You're giving your precious time. So For engineering, you are learning, you're giving time. Spiritual knowledge, you are learning, you're giving time. But again, after that, to understand engineering, you should have open mind. You should be open to learn the new concepts which you have never heard outside of your society, inside within your society, the engineering concepts. Similarly, in this classes, we are exposing you to some spiritual concepts which you may feel that these are new. I've never heard it, right? But that's okay. But you should be eager to accept this and moving forward. We are not expecting you to learn everything in one day. It will take some time, and that's okay. Just be with us. And then Krishna is saying that self realized souls can impart knowledge unto you. So that institution or that guru will give you the knowledge so that your life becomes perfect. So the three qualities you should ask a guru submissively, not in the challenging mode. You should service them. You should serve the guru and the representative of a guru. And then you should surrender into him. This is how you will get the spiritual knowledge. Transcendental wisdom. In this shloka, Krishna says, even if you are considered to be most sinful of all sinners, when you're situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Krishna is saying, even if somebody who is so dull, so dumb, full of sinner, full of sins in his whole lifetime, is saying, this transcendental knowledge is so pure, that if somebody of that caliber will get in touch with this, it will able to cross the ocean of miseries. Basically, he will be delivered. So, even if somebody who is too fail not to qualify in any of these, but if he'll get this knowledge by following the process, he can become perfect. Now, the same thing was asked by Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir is over here. You can see in this picture, this person. And then here's Bhishma Pitama. After the end of Mahabharat war, Bhishma Pitama itself is an authority in spiritual sciences. Yudhishthir being a student, coming and asking to Bhishma Dev. What he's asking? He's asking, Yudhishthir said, what is the sole divinity in this world? In other words, what is the one supreme goal? By praising whom, worshipping whom, can men obtain the good? It's a very noble question. He's asking, what is the supreme goal? We all have different kinds of goal. We have a goal for our family, for our kids, our financials. You buy a house, you buy a home, you want to make your child engineer, doctor. So these are all the goals that we have in our daily world. But then Yudhishthir is asking, which is the one supreme goal out of all these goals, which is the best of the best goal? And he's saying, what duties of all duties do you think is supreme? So we are doing our duty in office, in house, and kitchen, as a neighbor, as a family man, family woman. These all are our duty. But Yudhishthir is asking, what duties of all duty is supreme, which is the topmost duty? By repeating whose name is the creature freed from the bondage of birth and transmigration. So what should we do so that we are not subject to repeated birth and death and passing our soul, sometimes in the human, sometimes in the body of an animal, birds, and so on, so on. That is itself is a very good question. Intelligent people ask intelligent questions. That is what Yudhishthir is asking. And how does Sri Bhishma replied? Bhishma is saying, the Lord of the world, the gods of the God, the infinite, the supreme person. By praising him constantly, by means of his thousand names, a person is always uplifted. Bhishma is saying that this world is governed by the Supreme Lord. There are some gods, but then there is Supreme God who controls those gods. There is an infinite energy which controls this infinite world, and he is a supreme person. He's saying if we are constantly in touch with him, constantly praising him, taking his names, then our problem of repeated birth and death will be solved so as for other people in society. Now, what did Mahadev, Lord Shiva, said to Parvati in Vishnu Sahasranam? Somebody of you would have recited this shloka where Parvati said, I am desirous to know, O Lord Shiva, how the scholars of the world will chant without fail 10,000 these thousands names by a method that is easy and quick. Remember when Bhishma is saying that that person should be praised by constantly taking his thousand names. And the consequent question Sri Parvati is asking, how can the people of this world take these thousands names? Is there an easy
ಹೋಯ್ಗ
is there an easy way?
5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗಿದಿರೋ ಇರು.
And Lord Shiva said, hey beautiful one, I play with Ram always by chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. Hey lady with a beautiful face, chanting of the name Ram is the same as thousands names of Vishnu. So if you are taking thousands times the name of Vishnu, and if you are taking one names of Lord Ram once, it is equal. Then in Brahma Purana, Brahma said, the merit attained by chanting the thousands holy name of Vishnu thrice is attained by chanting Krishna's name only once. Brahmaji is saying, 1,000 times if you chant the name of Lord Vishnu, that itself is the name of Lord Ram. And 3 names of Lord Ram is equals to taking one name of Krishna. Let's see what Sripad Adi Shankaracharya said. He said, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam Murmati. He says, worship Govinda, Govinda, worship Govinda. Oh fool, rules of grammar will not save you at the time of death. Regularly recite from Gita, meditate on Vishnu in your heart, and chant his thousand glories. That is the common message is given by Adi Shankaracharya. Following that, the Kali Santarana Upanishad, this shloka says, the 16 names are the only way to defeat the ill effects of Kali Yuga. Iti Shodha Shakam Nam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam Natah Parataropaya Sarve Vedeshu Tishyate. There is no other way to cross the oceans of birth and death than to chant this holy names. This is the final verdict of the Vedas. What is the shloka? What is the mantra? It says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So if you're chanting this shloka, it contains the names of Lord Vishnu, names of Lord Ram and Krishna himself. It contains Vishnu Sahasranam. It contains what message Lord Shiva is giving to Parvati. It contains what Sri Adi Shankaracharya is telling us. And this is confirmed by Kali Santara Upanishad. So we should try to chant this mantra at least 108 times in our life every day. That takes 7 to 8 minutes or maximum 10 minutes for you to start with. Once you do that regularly, then you will realize that the impact of Kali Yuga will be slowly taken away. Your problems in the life will be taken away. You'll get a divine protection directly from Lord Krishna. So this was the summary of this particular chapter. Now we are open for question and answers. Any questions? Hare Krishna, Sannidhi Mataji, can you unmute and introduce yourself?